Hey everyone, Pat Mitchell here, and in this free video lesson from TrickTrades, I'm going to do a free trade recap, so let's get into it. Okay folks, so I get asked this all the time, what type of trades I take, what do we trade at TrickTrades? Well, first and foremost, I want to say that we're probably the only room out there, one of the only rooms out there, that we trade everything. I like my members to stay away from the small caps because small caps, they're really not meant to be traded by new traders. You generally need to take a lot of size on them, and they can, because they're so overly manipulated, they can really move against you very quickly. So I like my members. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm really not feeling good this evening, but I still wanted to get this out there. Um, I tell my members to trade stocks, over $20. They have range. You can take very small share size, and they really work out. So Macy's, this was discussed pre-market in the plan of attack, and I basically laid this out on a silver platter for everyone, and I told them to watch this 31 area. Okay, it marked out pre-market highs. I told them that this will not get over pre-market highs because Macy's is retail. It's a dying sector. Um, I mean, it's such a bag holders chart. I also told them that at this 31 area, you're right in the area of bag holders. Okay, the last round of bag holders, they got caught off guard with a big gap down. Okay, and then right in this area, so this round of bag holders, which is where it gapped up into, you're gonna have, and I want to zoom in a little bit so then you guys can see here. I'll get one sec, guys. So this here, right? So it looks like it was about to break out. All right. And so you get a bunch of people jumping in to buy the breakout, and then they got caught up in this big dirty down gap and then sell off. So the bag holder mentality is to hold it, right? So they've held for God knows how long, and they finally get this gap up. Now they're going to sell. They're going to sell for break even and with maybe a little bit of profit. So that was the theory behind the trade idea on Macy's, and it worked out perfectly. We got a push right into that area. We got a nice double top, and our members, including myself, jumped in on this short with the risk off of pre-market high, and we nailed this trade. Came all the way to VWAP, first took profits here, and with this push up, added a little bit into the position, and it dumped hard. This thing sold off, and I want to point this out to you guys. This is a nice little tidbit. So a couple of the members in the room, they got shook out on this, and I explained after the fact, after they said that they got shook out. Now I said what usually will happen is on a really good short opportunity before the real big dump, the market makers will pop the stock like this to shake shorts out of their shares, and then they scoop up all of those shares. Now they can borrow, right? Now they can scoop them up for a short. So usually when this happens, it dies instantly, and that's exactly what it did. Like right to plan. This right here, this little pop, that's all BS, man. It reeks to high heaven of bullshit. That's all this is. It's a pop by the market makers to basically gather shares to short, and then it died. And this thing died. It filled the gap. I got out. I think it was right. No, it was on this last dump. That's where I covered up the rest of my shares. A couple people caught this on the way back up on the bounce. I told them to wait for the higher low. I completely guided them through, and that's what I do at TrickTrades. I guide them through. They were able to take, I think, about 50 cents off this trade. So it was a really nice trade. Better short than a long. Called out, extremely predictable. We all banked on it at TrickTrades. So that was Macy's. And then Twitter, I took two trades on. And like I said, I'm not, I'm definitely not feeling the greatest. My son was sick over the weekend, and now he's infected us all. So on Twitter, I really like this for a short. And the first time I traded it, I got in just because it was really showing weakness. Got a little bit of FOMO. It happens. And it started pulling this uptrend. You can see this uptrend here. Okay. And so I sized down on this higher low. And then as soon as with this candle, I'll get zoomed in just so you guys can see the exact candle I'm pointing at. So on this candle here, as it broke high of day, okay, I got out, I covered up, and then I just waited. Now, normally I would just wait and add into the previous close because it's such a heavy level of resistance. Here's the thing, though, guys. We've traded Twitter lots, and this thing, once it breaks high of day, this thing doesn't stop. It just rips. So that's why I got out. I called out in chat that this is a really good opportunity to jump in short on Twitter because it's right into the previous close. So I got short again right on this candle here and wrote it down. I covered up on this wash right into some support. There's heavy low of day support here. So I ended up covering up, and not all of it. And then like I said, not feeling the greatest, and I ended up getting out on this push. I've traded Twitter lots, and once it breaks these areas, it really ramps. I didn't have this trend line drawn, and that was my error in the trade. And seeing it reject into this trend line, should have added instead of taking it off. It happens, guys. I don't care how long you've been doing this. You're not going to trade perfectly day in, day out. But some of my members stayed in, okay? It's also, when it does this, it's just forming its trend, okay? You can see it's just forming its trend for the day. See how it tapped out here, then tapped out here. That's fine for these to pop. But when you're sick and you're under the weather, you shouldn't necessarily trade. I won't take a day off because I won't leave my members high and dry. But I just wanted to point out that this is what it does. It forms its trend right around this time of day, and it's natural for these stocks to pop back up and not to get freaked out. But not feeling the greatest, I ended up covering up. Some of my members stayed in, and they really banked on Twitter. They really banked on this. This was just gorgeous, just a beautiful trade on Twitter. So the home run slam dunk trade of the day, and I want to go back to this right here, CRC right off the VWAP slap. This purple is the brand new build that Kelvin made for us, and it is amazing. So the very first time that it actually triggered, we got this amazing slam dunk home run trade. So CRC fired off right as it was pushing into the VWAP. And I told everyone, okay, it's not ready yet. So I guided them through, and I let them know this thing's going to fail right at the 50 EMA, which it did. Now, I don't know, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but at the time, the 50 EMA was basically hugging right here. So it came right in. Right, so obviously with the time, the extra action going on, it kind of moved the moving averages around a little bit, but is what it is. So it came right into the 50 EMA, right into high of day resistance. I told everyone, I'm going to get zoomed in here because I'm going to show you where I entered. Right at the lower high. Perfect. Perfect. You literally had about 10 cents worth of risk on this to low of day, right? So that would be your next stop. $1.35. Okay, so well over 10 to 1 risk reward on this. And I took some off here, and then as it came to low of day, I took some off there, and then I held. I didn't even have a lot of shares, and I came away with $3,060 on just this trade. On one trade, 2,500 shares, relatively small position, and banked. Huge. off of one trade off of the VWAP slap scanner, guys. I'm telling you. So this weekend, be on the lookout. Go to TrickTrades.com, go in the Savage scans, and it'll be available for everyone to have. You guys are going to love it. And amazing. I'm going to show you another trade in a couple of minutes here that some of the members took right from the scanner. Really, really good. So this came down. This is also a TrickTrade slam play that was developing with this rounded top. I can go over that strategy more so for TrickTrades members. And this really died out. Even from there, I mean, you still would have got a 1.5. So we caught the absolute top on this that you could have safely. And I got out right here. Right there is where I got out because it was basing. I made 3 points on this trade. Okay, amazing. Amazing trade, amazing play right from the TrickTrades VWAP slap scanner. Amazing. So another trade I didn't take personally, but it was called out live in TrickTrades chat, was THC directly from the VWAP slap scanner. Right here, started firing off. Really, really nice. Some guys jumped in on it because they recognized it as a valid setup. And you could have caught a point off of this to lows. So it came up, really started rejecting hard. That would have been your entry. And then to lows, it would have been just about a point, 91 cents. Coming into the opening price of pre-market, definitely want to take most of it off right in there because that's about it. So that's the trade recap for today. I did take DDS. I did get stopped out on one. Might as well go over that really quickly, just to show you guys that they're not all winners, and you're never going to have all winners. So DDS, we got a valid double top setup here. Started kind of creeping back up, and as soon as it came here and tested out, it was really showing strength and took that off. Again, right into the 84. I was debating reshorting this at 84 just because it was the whole number setup, and this would have been 5 points. So, like I said, it happens when you're a little sick and a little under the weather. You're not going to trade the greatest. So, yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful day at TrickTrades chat. All varying in price ranges. These are the types of stocks we trade day in, day out. I definitely wanted to bring that to you guys and show you. So, anyways, folks, that's what I got for you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.